Llega el momento de salsa, cultura y algo más con David Atanasio, destacado cantante y productor. Miércoles de salsa, cultura y algo más, 8 de la noche. Comenzamos. Es el programa Salsa, cultura y algo más. Dímelo, David. ¡Vamos arriba!
Buenas noches, mi gente. Hoy es jueves 18 de diciembre, el último programa de Salsa, Cultura y algo más del 2025. No se me asusten porque Salsa, Cultura y algo más continúa, solamente que vamos a tomar un receso navideño. Y esta noche, pues traemos un invitado muy especial directamente desde Nueva York. Ok, él es promotor de eventos, productor de eventos, él es DJ, él, ¿qué no hace? Siempre se mantiene envuelto en la cuestión de la música, como le dije, la salsa desde los platos, de DJ hasta la tarima, porque es un hombre multifacético y un hombre que viene trabajando, manteniendo este género que nos gusta, tanto en los discos como en vivo en las tarimas, como le dije, dándole esa opción a la gente que todavía le gusta salir a bailar, que le gusta de las actividades. Y ese es el señor Brian Martínez. Y lo vamos a traer en vivo aquí ahora mismo para que comparta con nosotros en esta noche, que estamos de party. Esto es un party navideño esta noche porque estamos celebrando que ha llegado Navidad, pero vamos a celebrar con rumba, salsa y bembé. Lo tenemos. ¿Qué me dice Brian? No te veo. Where did you go? Vamos a ver. Where you at?
Saludos.
Ahora sí te veo. Vaya. ¿Qué está pasando, hermanito? Buenas noches.
It's freezing on your end.
It's freezing on my end.
It was now. It's fine now. Hold on. It's up now.
Okay.
Ahora
Good now?
mismo. Yeah, it was freezing, but ahora mismo.
Okay.
We good now. We in the mambo.
All right. Bueno, pues muchas gracias por estar con nosotros. Thank you for being with us tonight. Merry Christmas to you, your fans, your followers, all the people that you make dance, that you make enjoy their night, dancing their night away. Tell me how Brian started in music. Did he start as a DJ? He started like just listening to music. How Brian Martinez came about?
Brian Martínez came about when I was a chamaquito. I was very young, and my mother on Saturdays used to always put the music on, put La Mega or Polito Vega, and my mother used to always blast music in the house. So it's in the family gene and everything like that. My uncle was a DJ. My uncle he was back in the day, and mi familia, mi tío, is Frankie Morales, ex cantante como Tito Puente. So it's in the family genes and everything like that. So growing up, I was already listening to all that music growing up in the family. All the cousins, all the nephews, going to family parties.
Wow.
Listening to that music. So, it been in mi sangre, mi corazón for many years.
Wow. So I didn't know that Frankie Morales was your uncle, man. I mean, that's a great surprise and a great influence,
Yeah. Frankie is my mother's brother. They got from the same father, and
Wow.
my abuela has several kids, and three was from one father, and it was my mother, Frankie, and my other aunt who passed away years ago. And it was three of them. But we did the genes. We could do this for so many years and everything like that. So that's
cool.
that flavor me already.
That's cool. That's very cool. And do you have any other talent other than DJing? Do you play any instruments or
Oh no, I always been into music for many years. So
right?
besides being a DJ, you know, I've been doing this like that. My mostly thing is music. Growing up, they said that when I was in school, I used to be in a little corner. The only kid didn't want to be bothered with a record player. And I used to play those little records back in the day. They had the little small records, and you put it in a little spin and everything. So I used to put the little records in, and I used to put the press play, and I used to be there. Other kids used to be doing other stuff, but I was always that quiet kid in the corner playing records and
Wow.
listening
And, and let me
to
ask you,
music in the corner.
who was like your big influence? I mean, I know we had, of course, Frankie Morales, but you also had Conjunto Libre, you had a Gran Combo from Puerto Rico. Which band or which singer you were more attracted to? You were like, man, this is I mean, Eddie Palmieri, Tito Puente, so many.
I didn't I didn't really have a favorite. They were
Okay.
all good back in the days. Just like I said, growing up, my mother used to listen to everything. My mother was mostly from the old days, from the coastal days. So growing up in the house, it was always mostly charanga music and
Ah,
mostly
yeah.
that old school 70s, 80s from the days for the dancers because my mother was a dancer. She used to go to all those places and everything like that. So listening to that music of that era, that's how Don't get me wrong, the salsa now it was good and everything, but I grew up listening to the music from the '60s and the '70s from back in the
Mhm.
days.
Right. Joe
So
Cuba,
you think
Palmieri,
you think
the
I'm a
big bands,
you think I'm an old guy? Yeah, Puente, Machito, Tito Rodriguez,
of
or
course.
all the charanga like Orquesta Power, Charanga América, Charanga de los Cuatro, Torres, Cheo Feliciano, Charlie Pacheco, all those music from back in the days.
Speaking about Johnny Pacheco, later on, we're going to let people know and we're going to make a nice invitation that has to do with Johnny Pacheco, but we're going to talk about that later. So
Yes.
tell me, when was your first gig as a DJ? Tell me how did that happen? How that came to happen?
Okay. So as a DJ, I used to look my uncle. He was one of my uncles. He was a DJ, and he used to play at different house parties. They used to call him to play at different places, and the family used to go. Like every time there was a party, they hired him all the time. So I used to be
Okay.
listening to him playing and everything like that. And then also my cousin, which I consider my uncle, he was also a DJ too. So listening to him, I used to go and listen to his music and listen to like that. So that's what like got me to study, just watching him play and watching him do what he does best and everything like that. So when he decided to retire, I decided, say, what, I'm gonna for the family and keep the music going and everything. So then that's how I started learning how to play music. At the
Wow.
time it was CDs. He was doing records, and then I came into the CD era with all CDs and everything like that. So me going to different places. I used to always DJ in regular house parties and everything like that. And then when I went to one day to the Marionette, the old Marionette,
Okay.
that's when I started learning about more about the gender of the music and everything like that. I used to go to a famous store that is, God rest his soul, Vicente from Casa Latina at 116th Street. That is no longer there no more. And I used to go to Vicente, and I used to tell Vicente, I need this kind. What can you give me to what can you give me to play that type of music? And Vicente used to say, he used to give me a list of different CD. I said, Vicente, you gotta make me be broke by the end of the day. Because when you go to Casa Latina, you don't go and just want to get one CD. Vicente used to make you go out there with a box or maybe a bag full of CDs. My mother had
Wow.
closets of tapes. Of tapes. boxes of tapes. God rest her soul, my mom's man, and she had boxes of tapes and everything like that. So that's what got me more to learning about the music, going up to the Martinez. That was my big break, going to the Martinez, and that's how I learned about that music more and everything. I knew, but then I started learning more going to the Martinez as the youngest kid. You know, the youngest kid, because the Martinez was a more older crowd and everything like that. And you know, one day my uncle Frankie was playing there, and you know, at the time I wasn't that older because you had to be over a certain age. And at the time, I want to thank Benji, the son, who gave me the first, he said, who let me come in and we listened to DJ Jeff and everything like that. And I started learning that type of music, you know, like that. And one day, one of my guys who was a sound guy at the time told the owner's son, he's a DJ. He said, "You a DJ?" I said, "Yeah, no, I play a little bit of places, you know, I play in places like that." And he came out and he told me, "I want you to cover for me on a Sunday." I said, wait. And this is something experience for me. All right. He said, "I want you to cover for me on a Sunday." And I said, okay. And I went on a Sunday. And this is the only person they allowed to do it because the mother, God rest her soul, Barbara Rodriguez, she was very strict with allowing people to come in. She don't know who I was. And she gave me the chance. And it became good, you know? And it was really, really good. And they really enjoyed it.
Wow.
Because I already was studying.
So you're learning, like they say, you were learning the ropes already, because I mean, there's such a technique to be a DJ. It's not just to play a song and then wait till it finishes and start the other one. I know that you guys manipulate sometimes like the speed of one song so it can match the other, and you blend it in when this one is about to finish, you start the other one. Tell me a little bit about that in your own words. Did you get that? Can you hear me?
Say that again. I'm sorry. Say that again. You was breaking up.
Okay.
Let me see if I can get where I'm at. Let me see if I can move around. Okay, now.
Okay.
Now I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, so I was asking you that there's such a technique to be a DJ. It's not just playing a song and let it finish and then you start the other one. I know sometimes you manipulate the speed of one so it can match the other one, and then blend it in. When one is about to finish, you start the other one so you can you continue that flow, that energy. Tell me a little bit about that in your own words, your own technique. I mean, not giving away your secret.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Everybody has their own style of music. Okay, everybody has their own style of playing, and don't get me wrong. I don't judge the DJs because you know they have their own following, they have their own style of play. Me as a DJ from the Latin, because from the Latin community that I DJ, the first thing they hate is you mix the music. They want it from top all the way to the bottom. They don't
Gotcha.
want you mixing when it's a monya and then they just go in like that and like no. They want it exactly how to dance like a record.
From start to finish.
From start to finish. From top to
Right.
finish. You know,
Right, but you don't allow a gap. You know, when that one finishes, boom,
yeah.
right on with the other one.
You hit it. But you can't. It's not like no. But you know what it is. I'm a dancer, and I learned being the back of the day. So you got to
So
get
that goes together.
to get off the stage, get a little breather, like 5-10 minutes, and then they come back on. You're not gonna just wait to finish at the end and just go boom like that. You know, you let it clear a little bit. Get the breath. You know, because now these days, maybe with the on-two dancers, the young days, like the young generation, the school dancers, they could do it. But the old generation, they can't keep up with like they used to, like the back in the days. Especially if you play
Of course.
a 8-minute song. Oh my God! When you play an 8-minute, 9-minute song, they're already looking at you like, "What's what you doing? Yeah, you killing us here. You killing us here." Because they can't hang with those types of songs no more. Like,
Hey, it happens with me when I play with my band. After 6 minutes, they start looking at me, like, "Hey man, what's up? I wanna look good. You need to finish the song so I can go and sit after it's done."
yeah, that's how it is. That's how it is with these dancers. Even the on two dancers now. I'm surprised because the on two dancers They're supposed to be like us. I mean, they're supposed to be more energy. And even with them, after a certain limit, they'll go no more than 5-6 songs. I mean, 5-6 minutes, and they already say that's it. You know, they can't do it no more like they used to. There was times that I used to have a band perform somewhere, and the promoter used to tell me, he said, Brian, keep the songs to a limit because these dancers, they can't. I like, but these are the on-two dancers. They can dance that, you know? But like, no, they don't like that. The Scotty guy, and when it gets to the Scotty guy, they stop them. I said, but wait a minute, back in the days, my mother and the old times used to do it, but now the young generations can't do it no more. So I said, come on, you know?
Wow, that's crazy. That's pretty funny. Let me make a pause here. Mi gente, estamos hablando con Mr. Brian Martínez de Nueva York, obviamente con descendencia puertorriqueña, pero una persona que mantiene, es uno de los que mantiene en Nueva York la salsa viva, ya sea como DJ o ya sea productor de eventos. Y estamos contentos de tenerlo aquí porque, por eso mismo, porque Brian es una de las personas que con su estilo, con su negocio, con lo que él logra hacer, pues mantiene la salsa viva, le da taller de trabajo cuando aparece la oportunidad a artistas, a músicos y a cantantes. Así que, aparte de eso, hoy nos llevamos la sorpresa de que es sobrino nada más y nada menos que del gran cantante Frankie Morales. Como ustedes saben, Frankie Morales fue corista de Héctor Lavoe, ha hecho sus propias grabaciones y lo más importante, grabó con Tito Puente y fue el último cantante que tuvo Tito Puente por un promedio de maybe 10, 15 years, unos 10 o 15 años por lo menos.
10 years, and he won 2 Grammys. He got Dance Mania '99 got nominated for the Grammy. Mambo Berlin won the Grammy, and Maestro Masterpiece with Eddie Palmetti that won the Grammy and everything like that.
So those 3 records right there that you mentioned, Dance Mania 99 de Tito Puente, Live at Berlin y Masterpiece de Eddie Palmieri y Tito Puente son unos discazos, pero por encima del nivel, mi gente. Y Frankie Morales es el cantante de los 2 discos de Puente y parte de la producción de Masterpiece, obra maestra de Tito Puente y el, ¿verdad? Los 2 desaparecidos ya, Eddie Palmieri recientemente que lo perdimos. Pero hablando un poquito de eso, estas personas que se nos han ido, estas leyendas de la música, recientemente Palmieri, hace una semana se nos fue el maestro Itier, Puente, sabemos que hace unos años también partió, pero el legado de la música que han dejado está por encima, están por encima del nivel, así como Machito, Tito Rodríguez, todas estas personas que se nos han ido, pero hicieron una música tan fenomenal que sigue vigente, sigue sonando. Y personas como Brian, entre otros DJ, tanto en Nueva York como en Florida, Puerto Rico y otros países, mantienen este legado, mantienen esta música viva en eventos que se hacen en tributo o cuando salen y son contratados como DJs. A estas personas hay que agradecerle también. De hecho, Brian tiene toda mi música, Brian suena mi música, me apoya y cuando hay eventos donde él está de DJ, apoya mi música, la suena. Así que por eso estamos más que agradecidos. Nowadays we help each other because we got to take advantage of the social media, you know, of this digital era where I can just send you my music through an email or WhatsApp, you know, and I can have you here. More people can get to know you and what you have done and your collaboration, you know, what you have done with music, doing your part. If everybody does a little bit, we make a lot, you know, when we work together.
No, I know how it is. I know how it is for your guys to bring out music because now, you know, I'm doing a production. I don't know if you know, I have 2 singles that's out. I have, you know, a production that I have that's coming out pretty soon, hopefully by the end of May and everything. I got 2 songs that's out. You know, the first song I did 2 years ago called Marea, that it was a Cheo Feliciano tune that I redid it in salsa. And the reason why I wanted to do something, because, you know, when I used to go play in places, people used to tell me, Brian, can you make me a mix? Can you make me a CD? Can you make me a flash drive? My thing is, I don't like to pirate people's music because your guys spend a lot of money on the production. Your guys spend, so I'm gonna make music and make money off of your guys. So what I decided to do was I said, you know what? If I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna share original music, my music, and everything like that. And it's funny because talking about music, I had my dream was to do something. And I went one day. I went into Calito Padron from New Jersey.
He's
So
bad.
Calito, and I said, Calito, I want to do something. He said, let me know. Let's do it. I'm ready when you are. And I came out and I remember, I sat down listening to different music, different stuff. And I'm like, you know what? I want to be different. Everybody, and I hate to say it, because I'm a DJ. And some people that records, they only record for them. Some people they record for the dancers. So that's certain thing. I'm gonna be honest with you. When somebody sends me their music, if I like it, I'm gonna play it. If I'll play it, and if I don't like it, I'm gonna play it. But I'm gonna play it and to get the people response. Once I get the people response that one time, that's it. Because people look at me like, what are you playing? What is that? And I like to boil the people and everything like that. So when I spoke to Oscar Hernandez, I told Oscar Hernandez, I said, Oscar, I want to do this arrangement. I want you to do all for the Palladium era and everything like that. He said, okay, let's do it. So we did a Mía, we rearranged it. We did it in Calito Pantolo studio. We did all the percussion like that. And I decided to go with a different new singer that don't give everybody the opportunity. And I called from Venezuela, Leo Gruber. And I said, Leo, I have a song for you. Because Leo was already singing with me. He was already singing the tune live, but we never recorded it. So they said, Brian, give the tune to Leo. He's already singing it. And thank God that song is pegado in Colombia, it's in Puerto Rico. I have my producer. Wow. I got my producer, Angel Arasa, who handles the marketing, radio, and everything for me out there. I drive him a little crazy, but he says, no, out there, everything like that. And then after that, I came out with another song doing a tribute to La Diva de la Salsa. It was a tribute song remembering for all las mujeres de cantas, So, and that one I asked Ramon Sanchez to arrange it for me, And that tune was arranged, composed by Juan Batista, and we composed it. Wow. And very danceable tunes. That's why I have a new, like I said, I have a new production that's coming out the end of May, and this production is gonna be for everybody. I'm gonna have Latin jazz. I'm gonna have cha-cha. I'm gonna have boleros. Nobody's doing boleros anymore, and it's this big band stuff. And I hope everybody is gonna enjoy it.
That's cool. Now, so you're moving up, step by step. You started DJing, but now you started producing your own versions, your own music, and that's great because that shows again that you have a vision and you're not gonna stay just doing one thing. You're moving forward. Now, tell me about, because you do live events as well.
Yes.
And when was your first live event with a band or more than a band? Tell me.
What doing an event you talking about?
A live event, yes.
Wow. Well, I've been doing this already for 20 years already. So
okay. You remember what was the first one? Was it easy? Was it a piece of cake, or was it a headache? But you finally made it. I mean, tell me.
It was my first event I did was.
Who did you bring?
Was it Rey de la Paz? That I did at the gallery? Because as my first one, the Rey de la Paz. Yeah, I did. It was Rey de la Paz and everything like that. And I did.
Well, hold on. I want to show people the tune that you talked about, Amada Mia, your version. Can you hear it? Brian Martínez en su producción, Amada Mía. Con Leo Gruber cantando, arreglo de Oscar Hernández.
Y tú has enamorado.
The Palladium Mambo All Stars. Vaya. Vamos a darle un poquito para adelante para que... Fino. Lleva. Bailable. Ahí lo escucharon, mi gente. Una producción de Brian Martínez que lo tenemos aquí esta noche. Como le dije, un hombre que viene con una visión y expandiéndose, haciendo diferentes cosas en la música. Eso es apoyando el género, también dando la oportunidad a nuevos exponentes e intérpretes de la salsa, como este muchacho Leo Gruber. Yo no había escuchado de él, gracias a Brian Martínez lo podemos escuchar, usted lo puede buscar. Busque en YouTube o en cualquiera de las plataformas, busque Amada Mía de Leo Gruber y Brian Martínez con su Palladium Mambo All Stars. O sea, hay muchas opciones, many options out there. When it comes to music, there's no limit. And you can, I mean, everybody is doing a little bit. And like I said, it's great because you pick and you continue to listen what you like. This is another option que Brian Martínez le ofrece y que ya, como él acaba de decir, viene con una nueva producción por ahí. Así que esa está fina, está elegante. So we can expect nothing less on the next one. No podemos esperar nada menos que eso. Tiene que ser por encima de eso. ¿Es o no es?
That's just the first one. Then I have another one called La Diva de la Salsa at that level too. You know, like that. And so, you know, I'm trying to keep the legacy music going. You know, I'm picking music that haven't been done. I'm going into the cans. I'm taking out music, great arrangements. Oscar Hernandez, Ramon Sanchez, Jose Barrera. I'm going into the cans. I'm taking out music that haven't been done. And stuff like that. And I'm giving it a little twist. Giving it a little, just a little twist and everything. And you hear the sound, it's saxophones and everything. So I'm giving it that salsa dura with a palladium flavor.
Yeah, of course. That's great. And and that's very. It's got a very nice, elegant touch, but it's also danceable. It's a nice blend that you acquire, that you were able to acquire there with the people that you picked. So that's nice. That's having knowledge on who to bring. How to put together a team. Nothing wrong with the other people. It's just the people that you thought at the moment to do that production. Me myself, I like to work with people that I admire that I have never worked, or people that I worked a long time ago, and now that I'm making my own productions, I like to bring back. Because sometimes a lot of them I just played live in Puerto Rico. It wasn't recording wasn't that easy. It wasn't that attainable. Now it's a little easier, but it's still it still costs because it's an independent. It comes out of your pocket. But I like to bring people that, again, I always dreamed of working with, or people that I only did live music, and I bring them to put together something nice. So that's cool. I mean, I like it. I like the way it sounds.
Thinks that I know how your guys feel. People, I was like, wow. People think that it's easy to do a production and to do a recording. It costs us a lot of money just to get an arrangement, just to get people in the studio. It costs us, it's not like back in the days we had these big record labels that help us out. A lot of these things we do it out of our money, out of our pockets, and
Yes.
it costs us a lot of money to do these productions and everything like that. So
yes, and not everything goes that smooth. Sometimes there's complications, but at the end result is so satisfying, it's so gratifying. When it comes out, I'm sure that you had your hiccups to do this, but at the end, when you sit down and you listen, wow, it was worth it. And I'll do it again.
I was in the can for 3 years. It was
Wow.
in the, and then when my moms got sick and I lost moms, I said, you know what? I think it's the time to bring it out. I think it's a time, but it was already in the cans. It was already done, done. And it was like 90%. And Carlito said, "Are we gonna finish this? You got something under the can?" I said, "You know what? Let's finish it. I think it's the right time to bring it out and everything like that."
Hey, let me take the opportunity, man. When you talk to Carlitos again, Let him know I respect and admire his work. I don't know him personally, but you know, obviously, you can see what he's been doing for a long time now. You know, he's respectable because what he's doing is nice. It's got class, and you know, hace salsa dura, salsa romántica. I've seen him playing with live with a lot of people that they call him because they know it's a sure shot. You know, such a talent. So you let him know my kind regards and respect and admiration.
Yes, I let him know. Carlitos, one of my guys. I drive him crazy all the time, but he loves me. He like, wait, I'm waiting on you. I was like, what's going on? I'm like, Brian, I'm waiting on you. You gotta let me know. I'm waiting on you. I said, okay, so we gotta finally do it. You're the finishing. So I drive him, but he's a great guy. Very caballero, good. Good person. And he's very humble. He's not. He's a very humble person. And Carlito's good, very talented and everything like that. Percussionist and all that stuff, and he's good. He knows what he wants and everything like that.
That's cool.
And I'm glad that he had. When I reached out to him, he said, "Let's do this." Let's do it.
That's cool. That's cool. Now let's talk about live events. I know you have a live event coming up pretty soon with El Último Sonero, like they call him from Puerto Rico, Mr. Kevin Vega.
Yeah, I just did an event this past week, this past Saturday. It was
Oh, it was Saturday.
it was Saturday that passed. It was a very good night and everything. I had like over 400 people. I did it.
Wow.
I did it in a different place, a very elegant place, and everything like that. I usually do my events in the patio called Taito Towers, but since I decided to change it up and for Taito Towers, I decided to go to a different. I saw Kevin Vega in Puerto Rico. And I'm like, wow. I saw him performing in Puerto Rico. And I'm like, something? I'm gonna bring him a shot because I like to give everybody the opportunity to give everybody a shot. New people, new generations, new people that haven't performed in New York City and everything like that. Like when I first booked Tom Petty Young to the Westgate Lounge, when he performed. Edward Bonilla. I booked Edward Bonilla. Nobody didn't know people knew who was Bonilla, but then when I performed him live to perform in New York, like, people was like, wow, and everything like that. So, I like to change it up, give people the opportunity, give everything like that. So Kayvon was when a friend of mine's. He was good friends with Kayvon, and he told him, listen, I want to bring you. And Kayvon was very nice and everything like that. He said, let's do it. And he loved it. Because I've been doing this for so many years, producing shows at Lincoln Center, De Jose Alberto Canario, 40th anniversary at Lincoln Center. I even did a thing with, Martínez that I want to give everybody a chance, like I do something like my thing is I do something for the females. I call it the females de la salsa or divas, girls. A lot of guys, they don't producers, they don't book girls. So I always my mind is always sit down and say, you know what, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do that, and give everybody the opportunity to perform.
That's cool.
Because after a while, people getting tired of the same things in New York.
Right, right. Let me tell you a little bit about Kevin. Kevin, he had a band and he was a trumpet player.
Yeah, I
He
know.
wasn't a he wasn't a singer, and I was one of his first singers. I started with him. It was one of my first experiences singing. It was with his band,
Oh
and
wow.
then he used to play with another band, and he recommended me to that band, and I started playing with that band, and then he recommended me to another band, and with that band it was like a school because they used to play covers, but they went from El Gran Combo, Sonora Ponceña, Di Palmieri, Barreto, you name it. So I had to be alert, and there was no tablets, no nothing. You had to know the song there. And Kevin, me dio la oportunidad y ¿sabe? Me recomendó, and I'm forever grateful to him too because he put me in the spot. I didn't know, I didn't know many musicians, and but he did, and so he recommended me, hey, call this guy, hey, call this guy. And that last band that I told you, I was with them for 4 years until I moved to Florida. 4 years. And we were always busy. We used to play every Friday and every Sunday. We had two different places, steady gigs. It was steadies. And we did those gigs. I mean, they continue. I did them for 4 years till I moved to Florida. So I'm forever grateful to Kevin. So when I saw the event with him, I was generally glad because he's such a talent, tremendo sonero, and he always goes and he delivers when they bring him on stage. So that was cool.
No, it's good. It's good that and that I like about you because it's good because you give credit to the people who helped you out.
Of course.
A lot of people forget who helped them out, and then when they become famous, they like forget about you. Like that. I just I like there's people that I helped in the past and everything, and I gave them and I helped them with big artists, and nobody really knew who they was. But I don't say nothing. I just say what. I wish them great and everything like that. I had a couple of artists that when they went that nobody knew who they was. Nobody knew who they was. Like Leo
It
Gruber.
happens.
Leo's a good friend of mine. People knew Leo as a singer from Venezuela, but now that when he did that song Amara Mia, because he did recordings, but when he did Amara Mia, he went like this.
Nice.
And everybody he became up there with Amarabia and everything like that. So I always say I always like to help people out and everything like that with their talents. Because I always believe with their talents and all that, and and that's how I am. I have a thing inside me that if I like how you sing, I'm gonna give you a talent, and it works out. It works out. It don't work out. It works out. But you know what? At least I know what I did, and it's in my conscience that I helped that person out and everything like that. They give me the
Of
credit. They
course.
give me the credit. You know what it is? At least you know what you did. A lot
Hey,
of
let me
people.
tell you. Let me tell you. To finish with Caveman, my wife, she wanted to celebrate her 50th birthday in Puerto Rico, and she wanted live music, and she invited all the friends and family. It was a great party. And guess what? I put my band Champan de Barrio together over there, and one of the singers that I invited was Kevin Vega and his brother Kevin, which is such a percussionist, is phenomenal. And we had a blast because we got back together after so many years. But it was great because all everybody in the band, or most of it, I gotta say 90% were friends of mine, that people that I played in the past, and somehow we go back, and it was phenomenal. Kevin was one of them, and we had such an awesome time. It made the stay in Puerto Rico even better. So I had to say that. But the other thing I gotta say, that one of my dreams is to perform live in New York. Why? Because two reasons. Um, when I was given the opportunity to do music, mainly singing, I wanted to honor my dad's my he's still alive, but my dad is very talented, and he lived in New York. That's why I was born in New York. So there's something about New York that always takes you there, pulls you back. You always want to go back somehow. And so I wanted to honor my dad's name by putting his name in a record, because we have the same name. He's David Atanasio Sr.
Gotcha.
So I was able to do that. But my other dream is to go and play in New York, where I was born, and where La Salsa Dura was born. So that's one of my goals. That's one of my dreams. And I hope that somebody, I'm not saying names, but somebody one day help me
Look at
make that dream come true.
this. You know what it is that in New York, I'm gonna be honest with you. There's not that much places to perform. And
I
then
know, I know.
I'm keeping it going and I'm keeping it going, And a lot of people don't go out like they used to no more. You can't do an event every week, There's I do this independent, I'm not like these other promoters that they got the money and they could do it. They have the money. Me, I do it with my hard working money, and I do it, like that. So if I was a billionaire, if I had the lotto, I open up a club and I'll do it every week with you guys,
No, and I totally understand. But it's just one of my goals before I die. I want to go there and do my music. It's just like when we make music, when we produce music, we do it for a passion, because there's really, I mean, the major radio stations, they don't play you anymore. Only the internet radio, which I'm totally grateful, because they play our music week after week after week. I gotta say that the DJs, that they have been phenomenal. They've been consistent. They play our music weekly. Is what used to happen on the radio stations. That doesn't happen anymore. So what I'm trying to say is that when we do music, we pretty much do it from the heart. I mean, some of us, some that are starting, they're doing it because they think, and I hope they make it, but they think they have a shot to become a big star. I think those days are over. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm being realistic.
All right, true.
You
It's
do
true.
what you do your best, and whenever there's an opportunity to go perform, you go. Just be ready. But if you're gonna do music, you gotta do it from the heart. Don't do it thinking that it's gonna be a hit, that you're gonna be a millionaire, that you're gonna be a star. No, 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 no. You have to love music. Palmieri said, if you don't love what you do, you have no place doing it. You have no reason to do it. Then, if you do it with the mentality to become a millionaire or whatever, it doesn't work that way.
I said
My my passion is to do music and play at certain places because I want to connect with certain people. You know what I'm saying? So that's the main thing.
speaking of
But
Palmetto, go ahead. Speak.
no, but I wanted to jump and talk about the coming event that you have that is going to be important, or one of the most important. So you tell me about that coming up in February.
We have, oh wow, I have a big show that's happening February 21st of 2026 at the Lehman Center for the Performing Art. Um,
Woo!
it's not only my show. I'm co-producing it with Richie Bonilla, who was a legendary promoter, bit of a Get Alu, who been
Of course.
to area like that, and um Lehman College, I wanted to do something different, and I said, there's a lot of shows that was happening at Lehman, and I decided, I said, you know what, I'm gonna be doing a tribute and remembering the music of Johnny Pacheco. Um,
Woo!
Reason why I decided to do this because like I said, I always think different things of what I'm gonna do. So when we lost Johnny Pacheco during COVID time, I went to the wake. At the time, we was doing COVID time, and Johnny died quietly. I thought when Johnny was gonna pass away, I thought it was gonna be a line around the corner, like what they had with Celia, they had with all these people. But I guess people were still scared around the COVID time. They didn't come out. So I said, you know what? Johnny passed away quietly. Passed away quietly. So what I said was, I remember this. I reached out to Cookie Pacheco on Facebook. Cookie don't know who I am. But now we communicate. We come over, and I told Cookie, I said, how can we do something for Johnny Pacheco? She tells me, when the right person comes along and everything's good. We'll love to do it. So I was already working with Richie Bonilla, and I said, Richie, listen, Johnny's wife, and let's see what happens. And thank God we sat down with her. She said, let's do it. She picked up, she's doing picking all the big artists, and I want to thank her for allowing me to be part of it with her, and like that. And we're gonna have a great show. We got Bobby Valentin, we got Eddie Montavo, we got Alfredo de la Fe, we got Jimmy Bosch, we got a girl, I forgot her name, like girl that she's still working for the novela. She's gonna be doing some Celia Cruz numbers, and we got Herman Oliera. We got Ray Vieira, the singer that was the last singer for Johnny Pacheco. And, this is going to be something great because we're going to be remembering three eras of the music of Johnny. We're going to do charanga.
A charanga.
We're going to do the charanga. Then we're going to do the Pacheco statement with his band.
El tumbao.
And tumbao. And then we're going to close it out with a tribute to Fania. The final, and we got some other sorpresa that I can't say because the widow Pacheco, Cookie will kill me if she hears like that. But we got some other sorpresas that Cookie's working on and everything like that. So it's gonna be a great show. It's gonna be at Lehman Center for Performing Art 2026 at the Bronx, in the Bronx. It's gonna be February 21st. I'm gonna be opening the show, DJing on the stage. So it's my first show. Usually I DJ in the lobby when they hire me to do the shows at Lehman, but I'm gonna be on the stage DJing, warming up the crowd, and doing something for everybody.
Hey, how about you give me the opportunity so I can warm him up from right now? I wanna give people a little, remind them of the greatness of Pacheco with this tune. Wait. This one. El tumbado de Pacheco. Sabroso. I mean, Pacheco did so much. I think, hear that beauty. That's one of my favorites right there. But of course, that Pacheco left a great legacy in music. I talk to Herman every once in a while, and he told me a little bit about it, and I'm excited about that, to the point that I will try to go, because Pacheco was one of my favorites. I mean, con Monguito, con El Conde, con Casanova, con Celia, with such a a modest band, and he did so much. And his music is phenomenal. Not only that, but his vision, the vision that he had from the get-go. You know what I'm saying? Him and Masushi, and we gotta say Harlow, part of the history, created Fania All Stars, and that was something phenomenal. But to direct and keep together all those great artists with the egos going on, he was able to control it, and he was able to bring a great show around the world, literally around the world.
Yes.
So I think it's phenomenal what you're doing. I think Cookie Pacheco she's gonna have a blast, and she's gonna be very happy with the results of it.
No,
And like I
Cookie,
said, I'm gonna try to go. I'm gonna try to go myself. I would love to see that.
Cookie is very happy, she's, we got her busy now because she said, you know what, let me do it, let me handle everything. And me and Richie Bonilla said, okay, so she's really busy with this, and we got her back, to keep her more energized and everything. And me and Cookie, we always keep in contact, and we haven't seen Cookie since since we had the meeting at Lehman, and now we just been communicating through text messages because Cookie's busy, she's doing things, but when it gets close, we gotta have a couple of other meetings and everything. But she's looking forward to it. I'm so excited. I wish she's right here already. It's like we're ready in December before we almost in February and everything.
Let me tell you, I was blessed to see Pacheco live quite a few times. I saw him with the Fania All Stars when they celebrated their 30th anniversary in Puerto Rico. It was 1994, and there was everybody there but Hector Lavoe. Hector Lavoe died a year before, so that was exciting. And not only that, but I saw him in a few events with Casanova and with Peter Conde, in separate events, and that was phenomenal. He always delivered. He always was on point. And I know that you guys are gonna bring a great show. Are gonna honor him how he deserves, and his music will continue forever as well. So I commend you for that, Brian. I really commend you for that. And as a matter of fact, there's a book that just came out about Pacheco's biography, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Cookie Pacheco did a book, of the legacy of Pacheco, and if anybody want to purchase that day, if anybody want to purchase you guys want to purchase the book, we're gonna have the book on sale that day, so y'all can always purchase the book. We're gonna have the book that day to sell. I haven't got it yet, but I have a copy. She has a copy for me and everything, and it's just it's like a history of his music and what he did. That was like something that he did and everything like that. So it's gonna be looking forward. Y'all can purchase. Y'all be able to purchase the book that night at special limited copies. I don't know how many copies she's gonna bring, but I know it's gonna go like that. It's gonna go like that.
Oh yeah, it's gonna go quick. And maybe this is just a thought, but maybe people can get it signed by a few of the artists that are gonna be participating that night. That would be nice.
Yes, we might have a meet and greet. Like I said, and it all depends on the schedule, the time, and everything like that. But
of course.
But we'll work on something. Like I said, it's still early. We still have to finish doing some other stuff, but it's gonna be a good show. All I
Oh, I
wanted.
bet. Let me ask you, are the tickets available already? Can they purchase the tickets?
Yeah, you could go to www.lehmancenter.org. Tickets are, but they are going fast. So, you better get your tickets now because when we announce other big artists, Salsa, that it's gonna go like this. So you can purchase your tickets. There's still plenty of seats, but it's gonna sell. It's gonna
All right,
sell.
let me tell my Spanish speaking people. Mi gente, el tributo que se le va a hacer a Johnny Pacheco, donde va a estar Bobby Valentín, Jimmy Bosch, Alfredo de la Fe, Rey Viera, Germán Olivera. ¿Quién más va a estar? ¿Quién se me queda por ahí?
Oh, we have Herman Rivera, we have Jimmy Bosch, we got Alfredo de la Fe, we got Eddie Montalvo, we got
Eddie
Nick,
Montalvo.
the main guy, Bobby Valentin, and we have we got a couple of we got the Riviera, and we got a couple of people. We got a couple of people that's gonna be part of our a lot of sorpresas.
Muchas sorpresas. Entonces, mi gente, si para adquirir los tickets, los que quieran asistir y estén haciendo planes, yo sé que va a ser un gran evento y va a ser en el Lehman Center. Tremendo salón. Pues pueden ir a la página de lehmancenter.org.
Yeah, lehmancenter.org and everything.
.org, .org, y ahí pueden adquirir sus boletos. Me indica Brian que se están yendo bastante rápido porque va a ser un gran evento. Va a ser como un Fania All Stars más pequeño, pero van a estar tocando las tres etapas más importantes de Pacheco o las tres etapas musicales importantes de Pacheco, que fueron la charanga en sus comienzos como solista, ¿verdad? Como líder de banda.
We gotta have
Yep. El tumbao de Pacheco, donde tantos éxitos hizo con Peter Conde, con Casanova, todo eso. Y también en la parte de la Fania All Stars, su participación y dirección con la Fania All Stars. Así que yo entiendo que la música va a estar a tremendo nivel. Y una vez más, es un tributo a quien se lo merece, al señor Jenny Pacheco, que hizo tanto por este género, que nosotros amamos y que lo seguimos, y en la manera en que podemos preservamos este género que le llamamos salsa, pero es un género que en realidad abraza al mundo entero. Así que, Brian, thank you for that. I don't want to take more of your time, but anything else that you want to add before we leave, man?
No. I just want to thank you, David, for giving me the opportunity. I just want to let everybody know that you could you can follow me on Instagram on DJ Brian NYC #1 or Brian Martínez on Facebook, and like I said, I'm here for each and every one of you guys. You can always count on me. You think about me and everything like that. I'm over 20 years doing this. Like Palmetti says, before he died, Palmetti used to call me early in the morning. He used to send me jokes and everything like that. And it was funny real fast before we go. There's two people that made me laugh one time. God rest his soul, Ralphie Rizari. Ralphie Rizari used to say, "You the next Ralphie Mercado." And I used to tell Ralphie Rizari, "No, I'm not. There was only one Ralphie Mercado. And then Ray Bayona makes me laugh. He got a nickname for me. He said, "You're the Don King de la Salsa. You're the Don King de la Salsa." Because you know what it is? Because I do this for the love of the music. I don't do this to make money and everything like that. In the summertime, people don't know this. In the summertime, I close the street. I close the calle, and I bring entertainment with live music and bring it back like the old days. Like, cause I remember when I was a kid, they used to have music in the streets, in the barrio. They used to block parties when I get that. I think when we see Hector Lavoe, I saw my Uncle Frankie play with Joe Patad and back in the days when I was a kid. So I'll try to keep it going and everything like that. Next year is gonna be my 6th year doing it as an independent. My money, nobody helps me, no sponsors, no nothing like that. But you know what? Love for the music.
For the love of music and the memories, you grew up in that environment, so you want to relive it and you want to share it with other people. It's like bringing your memories, how you grew up, you bring them back to life so other people could enjoy it. And other people's memories, because many people grew up, when summer came, and they opened the fire hydrants and all that. I remember those days. I remember those days. Hey man, blessings. Merry Christmas to you. Thank you for you do what you're doing for music and what you're doing for musicians. Because whenever there's a chance, I know that you help them out. You bring them out, so they can be known. Or the legends like Pacheco, that he's gone, but his music lives forever, and you're responsible for reliving it and having a special night that night.
Yeah,
So
gonna
I'm
be a
gonna be sharing. I'm gonna start sharing. Para la gente que no sabe, mi gente, va a haber tremendo tributo en el Lehman, en el Bronx de Nueva York, para Pacheco. Y estén pendientes a mis redes porque yo voy a estar compartiendo también el flyer de los artistas que van a estar y vamos a estar anunciándolo, vamos a estar apoyando este evento por todos los músicos que van a participar, leyendas y más nuevos, que son leyendas todos. Alfredo de la Fe es una leyenda, Olivera es una leyenda, Montalvo es una leyenda, todos son leyendas. Y todos se van a unir por el amor, por el respeto, por la memoria de Johnny Pacheco, que fue un amigo, fue un padre, fue un mentor en la música. Así que va a ser un gran evento.
it's gonna be a great show. It's gonna.
I know it is, brother. I'm dying to go, so I'm gonna do my very best. I promise.
Yo habla con Cookie, and I told Cookie, I said, Cookie, all I know how to say is that I want that Johnny's gonna be up there looking down, and Johnny's gonna say, "Wow, thank you, Brian. Thank you for doing this para mí. And if this is the last time we're gonna do this, at least we're gonna go, and then real fast, he's gonna make 5 years that week up in DC's.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna be 5 years
already. Wow.
Yeah, that week, because he died in February. So what a way to do it in that time in February. And you know something? It's gonna be good because that night we're gonna have projectors. We're gonna have different things. I'm not gonna tell you too much, but
it's gonna be nice.
I'm gonna tell you something. This is a show that is usually a Madison Square Garden show. Because remember, Banya and all these shows was like mostly the big shows like Madison Square Garden, Carnegie Hall, Radio City Music Hall. So you're getting these artists in the Bronx at Lehman Center. They only host 2,300 people. A smaller theater, but 2,300. But you know what? It's something that you're never gonna see ever again in a theater like that.
It's gonna be back to the barrio.
Yes. And it's gonna
all those legends, they either come from the Bronx or play at the Bronx. So it's gonna be back to the barrio, back to the hood.
Dancers, my mind, I'm gonna have some dancers. I'm gonna have some dancers performing. We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. I'm gonna warm up the crowd. I'm gonna play some of Pacheco's music. That we won't be able, that the band won't be able to play because Pacheco has a lot of music. So,
I know, but whatever they pick, whatever they're getting ready, I know it's gonna be great because again, those three eras, they were great. La Charanga, El Tumbao, and Fania All Stars. My gente, you cannot miss this for the world. Un tributo a Johnny Pacheco con grandes artistas, con grandes amigos y personas que trabajaron con Pacheco un sinnúmero de años. So you don't want to miss this event because it's going to be great. It's going to be good. So Brian, thank you so much for doing that. Thank you for what you've been doing for the newcomers, for the people that are not too well known, but for the ones that are gone, that their music lives in our lives, in our heart forever. Thank you for that.
And I'll let you know that in February, that also in February, I'm doing another event. I'm still working on the final details of the venue and everything like that. And I'm bringing for the first time performing in New York, Carlos Garcia de la and was to play La Loma. He's an arranger, he's a composer, he's a pianist, he's a singer, and everything.
He has arranged most of my tunes. He's the arranger.
I got it. I'm working on something to get for him and everything. I'm working on arrangement for him too and everything like that. But
nice.
But he told me this is going to be his first time performing as a solo artist, like K-Ba Vega. K-Ba was the first artist performing. So he told me, Brian, that, I'm going to bring him, and, it's going to be for the Valentine's weekend, and he's going to be coming for the first time performing in New York as a solo artist. As a solo him, and I'm doing on Louis Marta, who's the invitation of Tito Roja. So that guy,
Oh yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
the great thing. So, I'm trying to change it up, bringing new stuff to like that. So be looking
That's
out.
cool.
Be looking out for the vendor that's going to be on February 13th of 2026. And I gotta, and I got a lot of stuff. Not only as a producer, I'm also a booking agent. I book bands. I'm gonna, be looking out. I'm gonna be DJing for the first time. The ending of February on a Friday. I'm gonna be going to the Stevens Steakhouse in Los Angeles, where I'm gonna be
Wow.
bringing Los Hermanos Moreno. We have an event on Friday for one day. I got a guy named Ricardo. We've been talking for many years, and finally he's giving me the opportunity to go out there to show my music as a DJ in Los
Wow.
Angeles first time. Then the next day, we fly out to Seattle, Washington to be performing in Seattle, Washington. So I'm busy.
That's good.
After the Pacheco concert, I fly out to the West Coast.
Wow, that's cool. And we're glad to hear that because that brings hope to others and we stay busy. If you succeed, eventually one or someone else is going to succeed because there's little things happening. So all we got to do is keep working with passion. You know what I'm saying? Just wait for our moment. So, Brian, one more time, I want to thank you. Merry Christmas, and I wish you the very best, and I hope I can
Hopefully,
make it in February there.
hopefully you make a New York appearance and everything like that.
We shall see. We shall see. So I want to thank you one more time. Thank you for being with us today. And you take care, my friend. Okay.
Ciao.
See ya. Bueno, mi gente, ahí lo tenían a Brian Martínez. Pueden seguir a Brian Martínez en Facebook, en Instagram, para que vean todos los eventos en los que él está trabajando. Es una de las varias personas, varios productores que están trayendo eventos y haciendo en Nueva York. Así que pronto, ya para el año que viene, vamos a decir, porque hoy cerramos el ciclo de Salsa, Cultura y Algo Más 2025. Este es el último programa del año, así que le quiero dar las gracias a todos los que se conectan semanalmente. Gracias por el apoyo que nos han dado. Vienen cosas lindas, vienen sorpresas, vienen unos trabajos importantes, gracias a Dios. Así que usted manténgase en sintonía. Pero el 21 de febrero en el Lehman Center va a ser el tributo a Johnny Pacheco. Ese evento va a estar fenomenal. Pendiente a mis redes también porque lo vamos a estar anunciando para los que estén interesados en llegar. Así que le quiero dar las gracias. Pasen buenas noches. Feliz Navidad. Próspero año nuevo. Muchas bendiciones, mucha salud, muchas cosas lindas para ustedes y su familia. Una vez más, gracias por el apoyo. Mientras tanto, en este tiempito que voy a estar fuera, regresamos promedio a mediados de enero. Voy a estar compartiendo programas pasados, voy a estar compartiéndolos con ustedes, pero recuerden suscribirse, recuerden compartir estos programas, pero también pueden ir a mi página de YouTube, David, Salsa, Cultura y Algo Más, para ver los programas del pasado. Quiero anunciarles también que acaban de salir dos producciones que veníamos esperando. Una de ellas es Tito Rodríguez Jr. Acaba de salir hoy el tema La Ley del Guaguancó y artista invitado cantando el señor Gilberto Santa Rosa. Nada más y nada menos. Tremendo tema en un arreglo original de Rey Santos. Vuelto a grabar con la tecnología y el sonido de hoy y además que cuenta con el caballero de la salsa. Así que búsquenlo, está en todas las plataformas digitales, pero también está la versión en plena de El Ratón de Cheo Feliciano, donde el grupo A Son de Plenas del señor Rafi Castro de aquí de Tampa me dio el privilegio de grabar y ponerle la voz. Así que grabamos El Ratón en plena, disponible en todas las plataformas digitales, así que lo puede buscar. Lo estamos compartiendo en nuestras páginas también. A son de plena. Busquen a son de plena, El Ratón, para que escuchen la versión de Cheo Feliciano en plena. Lo hicimos con mucho respeto, con mucha admiración a su música, pero con el sonido, uno de los sonidos autóctonos de Puerto Rico, que es la plena puertorriqueña. Muchas felicidades, muchas bendiciones y próspero año nuevo. Nos vemos el año que viene. ¿Está bien, mi gente? Se les quiere. Chao.
Por ahí voy, dijo Ramón, yo tengo ya esto cuadrado, champán de barrio, champán de barrio, champán de barrio.